Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, of course you are. And so am I. And it's kind of hard to believe, but finally, after 21 years, Ayman al-Zawahri is dead. It took 21 years. He was the co-conspirator along with Osama bin Laden, and they both are now gone. It took 10 years to get Osama bin Laden. It took 21 years to get Ayman al-Zawahri. Let me tell you all about that in just a second. But first, are you serious? www.mypillow.com. That's www.mypillow.com/Paul. That's www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. Guys, seriously, this is the softest pillows. What I like about them too is they're soft, yet firm enough to keeps my neck from hurting, and cool, stays cool. Wow. Mike just does such a great job over there at My Pillow, and I tell you something, it's an American-made company. He's a great Christian, as you guys know. He's been really run over the weeds by some of the haters, but doesn't stop them. And this pillow is amazing. So look, if you're thinking about changing pillows or getting some new pillows, or you need to add some pillows, do it by doing this. Go to www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. And be blessed, okay? As these pillows are amazing. They really, really are. Soft and just perfect. Plus, and if you buy one, you get one free. Did I say that? No. You buy one, you get one free. Plus the sheets and the towels and everything else. You get one, you buy one, you get one free. It's just a great deal they got going. So yeah, it's wild what's happening right now, guys. It's amazing. Whew. But what's happened is we've come to the point now where people are starting to realize that finally al-Qaeda is dying. But here's the thing about it is, after 21 years, Afghanistan is back in the hands of the Taliban and nothing has changed. 21 years, thousands of lives, thousands of Americans dead and wounded, of our best and bravest and our wonderful men and women in uniform. And at the end of the day, nothing's changed. Yeah, Taliban's in charge of Afghanistan. Al-Qaeda may not be as strong as they were, but ISIS came in, and then you got the Muslim Brotherhood, and you got the Islamic Jihad, and then you got Hamas, and you got Hezbollah, and then you got Al-Shabaab and Boko Haram, and it doesn't end. It really doesn't end. It really doesn't end. And that's sad, but we will report in a day where Nancy Pelosi is about ready to land in Taiwan, and China's got airplanes flying around and battleships and all kinds of stuff everywhere, all over around Taiwan, going in and out of airspace. It's just absolutely crazy what's going on there. We have good news to report that this is the end of the number 2 in command of al-Qaeda. U.S. kills al-Qaeda's leader Ayman al-Zawahri in a drone strike. Justice has been delivered, and as this terrorist leader is no more. That's the words of President Joe Biden, and so good to know we finally got this guy out of the way. Of course, he was older now, and I'm sure they was ready to replace him anyway. The United States have killed the Al-Qaeda leader. He was the number right-hand man of Osama bin Laden, Ayman al-Zawahri, in a drone strike over the weekend, and an operation that included tracking him down through his family, according to a senior administration official confirmed to reporters. The strike, carried out by a CIA operative Air Force drone, happened in Kabul, as the al-Qaeda leader stood on the balcony of his house in Kabul. According to a person familiar with the operation, separately said it took a few days to confirm the killing because the U.S. doesn't have many assets on the ground. But Zawahri never achieved the household name status of his predecessor, Osama bin Laden. But his killing is nothing less a major win for the United States in this ongoing struggle against radical terrorism, especially as the United Nations warns that the terrorist group is outpacing its peers, like the Islamic State has long-term global threat, ISIS. But in a speech announcing the operation, President Joe Biden said he gave the final approval to kill Zawahri, who was still planning attacks against the United States and its allies. Justice has been delivered, and this terrorist leader is no more, he added. Minutes before that address, a senior administration official spoke to reporters on how Zawahri was hunted, found, and then killed. This year, we identified Zawahri's family, his wife, his daughter, and her children. They have been relocated to a safe house in Kabul. Then we identified Zawahri at the location in Kabul through layering multiple streams of intelligence. The terrorist leader's habit of standing on the balcony allowed the U.S. to observe him and confirm his identity. The president received updates on the development of the target throughout May and June, and the senior officials said on July 1st, Biden received a briefing on a proposed operation while at the White House Situation Room. The CIA Director William Burns and Director of National Intelligence Avari Haynes and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, among others, were in the meeting. The strike was ultimately carried out at 9:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on July 30th on Sunday morning by an unmanned aerial vehicle or a drone. These two Hellfire missiles were fired at Zawahri. Only Zawahri was killed in the strike, according to the officials. There's no evidence of any other loss of life. Zawahri was an Egyptian who took over al-Qaeda after the U.S. killed its longtime leader, Osama bin Laden, in 2011. A physician, he founded Egyptian Islamic Jihad, a militant group that merged with al-Qaeda in the late 1990s. He had been indicted for his suspected role in the 1998 bombings of the U.S. embassies in Tanzania and in Kenya. The announcement comes nearly a year after the United States finished withdrawing from Afghanistan, the country it invaded 21 years ago in 2001, following the September 11th attacks mastermind by bin Laden. We actually didn't go into Afghanistan, folks, to 2003. I remember that. But the withdrawal divulged into a chaotic situation, one of Biden's worst stretches as a president. It was a debacle. The Afghanistan pullout was a debacle, as over 8,000 or 9,000 American citizens were left behind, and a lot of Afghanistan interpreters and supporters. The U.S. was forced to carry out a major evacuation of more than 100,000 people trying to flee the country after an astonishingly quick takeover by the Taliban militants. The United States has insisted that the Taliban not allow Afghan soil to be used by terrorist groups like al-Qaeda, leading the questions about why was Zawahri present in Kabul. It just proves that you can't trust the Taliban, okay? Anyway, the operation is the first U.S. strike in Kabul in almost a year, when a U.S. drone strike there mistakenly killed an innocent aid worker and 9 members of his family just days before the U.S. military withdrew from Afghanistan. Now, a U.S. Central Command ordered the August 29th strike based on intelligence that the aid worker was a member of the Islamic State Afghanistan branch and was planning an imminent attack on Hamid Karzai, the international airport, according to General Frank McKenzie, who at that time, of course, was the CENTCOM chief. Zawahri killing gives the Biden administration some good news to finally report ahead of their grim anniversary. It also boosts the U.S. claim that it still has what is called over-the-horizon capabilities with their drones when it comes to intelligence on terrorist activity in Afghanistan, despite no longer having combat troops there. The Senate Intelligence Committee was briefed on the site and on the strike. Senator Marco Rubio and Senator Ted Cruz, members of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, called the operation an important accomplishment, adding this strike should be a message to the terrorists near and far. If you compromise to kill Americans, we will find you and kill you. So it's a landmark operation. And now finally the head of the snake has finally been decapitated after 21 years. The two men that brought about masterminding, I should say, the Twin Towers and the destruction that took place on 9/11. Now, I don't think they're the only two. I think there was help from even inside our government as well as outside of our government. So I think there was a lot of forces involved, but certainly these guys were the ones that were willing to take the responsibility and parade it around. They wanted to be the ones to claim the responsibility for that. So it's really going to be interesting to find out what's going to happen as we go forward. Yes, as I said, I just said it. I think that's a good question. Justice for what? The two buildings inside job, Paul, wake up. I just said it. Okay, I just said that. And I just flipped over here to see the comments. You're right. I said it was in cooperation with. There's no question that al-Qaeda was involved, but it was also in conjunction with or in cooperation with insiders in this government as well as other governments. And I'm going to include the Saudi Arabians as well as others. This was absolutely tied in by more than one. It wasn't just one group of ragtag fighters from somewhere, So to your point, the Twin Towers. Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, I mean, we had people in this government. It wasn't the American public, obviously. It wasn't you and I and the good American citizens that love this nation. It was those that were involved who wanted to help weaken America, bring down America, and probably were wanting to get involved in these endless wars. A lot of money to be made. There's no question that the military industrial complex makes a lot of money when there's wars. There's no question about that. And so there had to have been inside help, especially when you watch some of the other buildings fall. It doesn't make sense that 7 buildings collapsed when it was 2 that were hit. Why was that whole area knocked out? That just never did make sense to me. But I think that what you have here is there was, without question, I think that there's been enough evidence now to prove that there was help from the inside. So, yeah, I'm truly awake on that. But I'm still going to celebrate that the head of the snake got cut off. I just wish that the rest of them that were involved, truly involved, both foreign and domestic, were also held accountable. But if they're not ever held accountable in this world, mark my word, they will be held accountable by God in the world to come. I'll be right back in just a moment. Can you hear Jerusalem's cry? Can you see the storm on the rise? Look around, you can't deny this is the hour of heaven's time. Armies gathering in the east for the war that's soon to come. Death will march with the beast, so seek the light and walk with the sun. Soon we'll see his wrath come down and the Lord descending from the sky. When you hear the trumpet sound, God has answered Jerusalem's cry. Sun is black and the moon blood red, and the stars fall from the sky. Word of God in the Bible says we're living in the end time. You're right, BP, you're right. Soon we'll see his wrath come down and the Lord descending from the sky. When you hear the trumpet sound, God's answer Jerusalem's cry. God has answered Jerusalem's cry. Soon the dead in Christ shall rise and join him in the sky. Even unbelievers will see God has answered Jerusalem's cry. God has answered Jerusalem's cry. I think that was a couple great comments that folks made out there. I just saw one by BP Earthwatch, which was dead on the money, and I was thinking the same thing. But yeah, from 9/11 to J6, the evil of the Cheneys continue, and I think you have to look at that because they certainly were involved. They're involved in both sides. They were definitely involved in that one and definitely involved in this one, and they definitely made a lot of money in between. Just something to think about. Yeah. Oh, guys, a couple things. Don't forget, if you're going with us to Israel, this is the time to do it. Go right now. We're going February 7th through the 17th. February 7th through the 17th, 2023. Go with Heidi and I to Jerusalem. This will be a trip of a lifetime. And it's not just a trip to Israel, but it's a Holy Land experience. We're also bringing with us Israel Hall, Joseph Shackelford, Renee Toure. This is a tremendous praise and worship team from Nashville. And I think that you will just be incredibly blessed. Also, I'll be speaking some evenings. I'll be speaking and some nights, one night at least, Rabbi Yehuda Glick, and one night Rabbi Zev Parat. Zev Parat's a Messianic rabbi, and Glick is Orthodox rabbi, and so you'll get a tremendous perspective of from what the perspective of Israel from Christians, Jews, and even the Muslims. We'll take you everywhere, and you will see all the sights and sounds and get a feel for the whole thing. Plus, take communion at the Garden Tomb. I'll give you communion at the Garden Tomb with praise and worship going on at the Tomb of Christ. Can you imagine that? We'll also go to the Church of Holy Sepulchre, which is a tremendous event and location historically, and where many believe it's the tomb of Christ. And then we'll also go to Golgotha. We will You can be baptized in the Jordan River. I'll baptize you in the Jordan River if you'd like. We'll take a boat ride across the Sea of Galilee where praise and worship will be going on while we're on the boat. It's an amazing trip across the Sea of Galilee. We'll stand on the Mount of Olives where Jesus will return. We'll go to Megiddo where the Battle of Armageddon will take place. And we'll stand on Mount Carmel where Elijah called down the fire from heaven on the 450 prophets of Baal. Yes, it will be an incredible journey. I'm just barely scratching the surface. You'll walk along the shores of the Mediterranean. I mean, wow. So many things you'll get to do. It's incredible. And the fellowship, the friendship, and the relationships that you'll enter into with the folks that travel you to the Holy Land is just incredible. So here's what you do. Pick up the phone this morning. Call this number, 1-800-929-4684. That's 1-800-929-4684, option 2. Hit option 2. And when they answer the phone, you may be on hold for a few minutes, but when they do answer the phone, tell them who you are and tell them that you want to go with Pastor Paul Begley on the Paul Begley tour to Israel, February 7th through the 17th. Tell them you want to go on that trip, and they will lock you down. And you just put your $300 down deposit. Your seat will be locked, and you'll be ready. And then they'll put together a payment schedule for you. You have until the end, I think it's November 24th, to be paid in full. So you've got some time. So go ahead and get this done, guys, because February will be here before you know it. And you'll be saying, why didn't I go on this trip? This will be unbelievably prophetic. What a time to go. And one more thing, also something else to remember. Don't forget, classes do start September 12th. So get signed up for the Paul Begley School of Prophecy. It's going to be amazing this year. We have the best classes ever this year, some brand new ones. And you definitely want to take the class with Heidi Begley teaching Old Testament survey. Also, you want to get Jerry Ewald's brand new prophecy course, a curriculum that he wrote. Of course, he's a graduate of Moody Bible Institute. Heidi, of course, has now studied Hebrew for 5 years from Hebrew University out of Jerusalem. And you can also take a Hebrew class with her. So all these things are just going to be amazing. Get signed up. We got great teachers. You just don't want to miss it. And one last thing, don't forget the webinar. What? Yeah. Friday, August 26th will be here before you know it. There's only 24 days left. Get your tickets now. It's only $49. You got unbelievable. I can tell you right now, Marshall Masters, amazing. Rex Bear was the best ever. And he talks about technology that brings about the mark of the beast, how demonically charged AI and the computer systems are. They're wired demonically. And they're linking them into fallen angel technology. And he brings out stuff that just blew my mind. It was the best presentation he's ever done. And also L.A. Marzulli on the trail of the Nephilim. Incredible presentation. Probably his best. And then there's Steve Quayle and the artifacts that his team down in Mexico just discovered. Earth-shattering. It's going to be, it's unbelievable because you guys know I had him on a few weeks ago and you saw what he said. And then there's Stephen Ben-Danoon and his 18 hours of meetings with the CIA in which they talked about aliens and UFOs and information that he shared with them from ancient texts. All of that tied in together. Plus Mike from around the world said this will be his best conversation ever. He's going to reveal things that's never been revealed before in the public. So there's going to be some incredible, and then I'm going to give you my perspective of these aliens and fallen angels and the fact that this is the revisitation of Genesis 6. It's Satan once again, one last play, the vortex of evil, the unholy trinity that he's bringing about. And of course, Bart Begley will do a film as well. Get your tickets today. Go there right now, guys. Get them right now. So you'll be early in line and ready when we send out the links. We want you to know this is going to be an amazing webinar. What? I mean, seriously amazing. So don't miss it. Matter of fact, tell somebody else about it. You get it for your household and tell someone else to get it for their household, because you want to get as many people as you know out there watching this one. Wow. Guys, I understand that Nancy Pelosi may have just landed. And if that's true, I'm going to come back in just a few moments with the update on that. So stay with me right here on this YouTube channel. Also, I will be live at 12 noon from the Salvation Station with a complete update on everything that's going on. You don't want to miss that. God bless all of you. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time. We're truly running out of time.